Hey guys, how's it going? I'm getting ready to plant up my very first outside container of 2019. So we just got back from a couple of flower shows in North Carolina and Philadelphia. And of course you come home feeling so inspired and you want to just like clean out the entire garden and plant all your containers all right now. And the garden center got a huge load of beautiful stuff in while we were gone. My mom was texting me pictures of it and I just couldn't wait to come and get my hands on some of it. So I went and picked up all of these things. Now I'm going to be planting up our kitchen window basket. This is really the only window basket on our house that I'm going to be planting up for spring just because we are by this every day and it just brings me so much joy to have something like, you know, really pretty to look at. So I am going to be packing it out because spring plants don't generally put on a ton of growth, and I do have plans for summer, so I'll be moving these out into the landscape later. So this already does have a little bit of soil in it. I did a arrangement very late in the fall, so I didn't really have to water those plants very much, so I still feel like the soil is kind of fresh. So I'm just going to top it off with a little bit of the Espoma soil here, just a little bit. So that's probably about enough. I'm going to spread it out and double check. Oh, this feels good. If your garden center doesn't have plants yet, maybe they have soil that you could go pick up just so you get your hands in it. So the first layer of plants I'm going to put in are these Ivory Prince hellebores. Absolutely gorgeous. The thing I like about these is that the backside kind of has that pinkish hue and they're just very creamy and beautiful. So I've got several of them here. I'm just going to probably use all of them and just make a row along the backside. So I put a little too much soil in there. Now I'm dealing with that. So I'm just taking some out and putting it back in the bag. So these Ivory Prince hellebores, you guys know that hellebores are one of my favorites, and I'm trying to do this strategically so that all of the plants that I put in this window basket, most all of them, I can put out in the landscape here in a couple months when I'm ready to plant them with summer stuff. So these are actually a zone 4. They're hardy to -30, and they start blooming usually a little bit right around this time of year or a little bit earlier. And so I'm excited to have these out. I've got a spot picked out for them. So I know it seems excessive. You guys should be used to that with me though. It seems excessive, but there is a plan to utilize these again. All right, so for the next layer, I'm gonna use some of these euphorbia. These are called Tiny Tim, and the reason why I love these is because one, you know, that pink on the back side of the leaves here, and then the pink that's on the tips, I think that's a really gorgeous combination. Plus the stems of the hellebore kind of have that kind of burgundy coloration. These are actually a sun-loving plant. They're not going to get a ton of sun underneath this eave, but let me tell you about spring containers. You can fudge the requirements for light and for spacing on both spring and fall containers. I've told you guys that before, just because, like I said, they're not going to be in this container for very long. So these will hang out. They won't do much. They'll hang out, look pretty, and then I'll pop them out into a sunny spot when I'm ready to replant. So I've got 5 of these, and I'm just going to space these out as equally as I can. You know, I kind of wish I would have picked up a little bit more of those. A 6-foot window basket gobbles up plants so fast. But the next layer right here, it doesn't look like much, but they're daffodils. So I don't know how to pronounce the variety name, but is it like tete, something like that? They grow 6 to 9 inches tall and have really sweet, just like pure yellow daffodil flowers that are a little bit smaller than the normal size daffodils. So I think I'm just gonna work those kind of in between the euphorbias here, so in 4 spots. And then these will hopefully keep on growing and will kind of start blooming a little bit later, so it'll be a nice little treat later on. So I'm getting ready to put my last daffodil in. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I am gonna run down to the garden center probably tomorrow, and I'm gonna pick up a 6th for this far side right here, just because I think that it would look good to have the daffodils span the whole width instead of having, you know, the hellebores, the euphorbia, and the daffodils come down like kind of in a triangle. I think it'd be better to carry them out to the sides. So I'm gonna drop this one in and then pick up that 6th one tomorrow. All right, so then the next layer down are these gorgeous primrose. There are 2 different varieties here. This is an apricot with rose eye, which have tons of flowers, but smaller flowers. And then this one right here is called a Heather Spring Sun Orange. So I'm just gonna go like every other and just start tucking them in here, along with some of these violas. I'm gonna kind of plant these two at the same time because I kind of want to go pink, purple, pink, purple. And this is a Viola Penny Denim Jump Up. These are perennial. So the only flowers of this whole bunch that I probably won't be utilizing out in my garden later are the Primrose, because they're just a short-lived annual here in our area. So I think that's pretty good. Out of all of these flowers, I'll be able to use everything except for that small bunch. Here we go. All right guys, so it's almost done and I think it looks absolutely beautiful even at this point. Like I said, it is packed out, tons of plants in this window box right here. My most favorite plant I think is this euphorbia. I think it absolutely ties the whole thing together. It brings the hellebore and the primrose together. And then just imagine once the daffodils start blooming in between, like in these little gaps here, we'll have that little nod of bright spring yellow in there. But there's one more thing I want to do. So I went and cut a few branches off of our weeping willow tree, which actually needed it. They're reaching almost all the way to the ground at this point. And I think it would be fun to kind of twist a few branches around in here just to give the arrangement a little bit of movement. So I don't know, I'm gonna try it. We'll see what it looks like. Aaron told me I should stop now. He says it's finished the way it looks, but I think a little bit of like graceful movement might be nice. We'll see. Okay, so I put the branches in and then I took them out again because I think I like the simplicity of this better, even though it's really not that simple. There are a lot of things in here, but I'm really happy with how it turned out. And I'm kind of distracted because look who's out here. Yay! Are you helping, bud? This is what he wants to do all day long. He just wants to be outside walking around. You come here. You come here. Okay, come on. Let's go finish the video. So anyway, guys, I hope that you enjoyed this video, just seeing this huge amount of spring color. It was so much fun to be able to plant it. I've been waiting months to do that. So we will see you guys in the next video. Bye. You want to run? Let's go. Come on. Come on.